Rhode Island Hockey Hall of Fame welcomes you to the enshrinement of the class of 2023. And now, please welcome the chairman of the Rhode Island Hockey Hall of Fame, Vincent Cimini.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the 2023 enshrinement celebration of the Rhode Island Hockey Hall of Fame. So happy to have you all here again. Before we begin our ceremonies, I'd kindly ask you to please stand and welcome, as we do every year, Warwick native and the popular anthem voice of the Boston Bruins, Mr. Todd Angeli. Todd.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Thank you, Todd. That's the way to start an evening. On behalf of the Rhode Island Hockey Hall of Fame, it is my great privilege to extend sincere congratulations to all of our honorees this evening on the 125th anniversary of organized hockey in Rhode Island, the oldest organized hockey legacy in the entire nation. Our 2023 class represents more of the best of our state's rich and illustrious hockey history. Since last August, the Hall of Fame has remained very active, chronicling more of the fascinating stories at the roots of hockey in Rhode Island, highlighting our state's influence on the national game and sharing the histories of our most notable hockey families, including several generations of Armies and Kavanaughs, whose family members add another chapter to their legacies this evening. In addition to our ongoing research, writing, photo cataloging, and the expansion of our virtual Hall of Fame and our state-of-the-art touchscreen Wall of Fame at the AMP, we have been very hard at work at a number of new issues. Tonight represents an intersection of generations. They say that the past is our lesson, the present is our gift, and the future is our motivation. Each generation stands on the shoulders of the generations before them. At the same time, they are both the beneficiaries of the pioneers that preceded them and the inspiring foundation for the next. Tonight, for the first time on the Hall of Fame stage, we will be honoring today's generation, Rhode Island's 2023 high school all-state boys and girls first teams, with the hope that they too will inspire and may one day call themselves Hall of Famers as well. In addition, as part of our ongoing mission to cultivate and expand opportunities for young people to play and enjoy the game with its evolving landscape, we are producing a Hall of Fame high school showcase to be held this coming January 19th at Schneider Arena. We plan this, too, to be an annual event. 40 of the best Rhode Island high school boys, 20 per side, playing against each other, and the best 40 girls, all selected by their coaches, competing in games before cheering family and friends, alongside college recruiters scouting their play against their peers. All of this, together with tonight's celebration, would not be possible without the tireless efforts of our all-volunteer board: Mal Goldenberg, Bob Lawrence, Bill O'Connor, Ray Morgan, Mark Diver, Mike Bailey, Sean McNamara, and Dave Fontaine. And I should also add my son Craig, who works tirelessly on this and is not a board member and refuses to be. And he thinks he's going to have more work to do, but that's not the case. He'll continue to do the work. And of course, Greg Boris, chairman of our diligent selection committee, and our all-star team of volunteer writers, designers, digital artists, photographers, IT specialists, and social media experts. Thank you all for a job very well done. And of course, where would we be? Thank you, thank you. And of course, where would we be without the support and generosity of all of you, as well as our program advertisers and tonight's major sponsors: the Chase family, the Moran family, Providence College, Rhode Island Hockey, the Rhode Island Heritage Society, the NHL Foundation, and the NHL Players Association. And there's one more major objective we have: building our own, or should I say your own, Rhode Island Hockey Hall of Fame Museum, which we began raising funds for last year. This year, we ask you to kindly consider the incredible silent auction collectibles we have for you, and especially the donor cards on your place setting. Each year, we make it a point to reciprocate for your generosity with a quality gift. Tonight, thanks to the contributions from our friend Bill Payne at Rhode Custom Graphics, we are saying thank you with your choice of these beautiful, high-quality hoodies or long-sleeve tees emblazoned with the Hall of Fame logo and modeled by tonight's stage escorts, Ava and Maeve, with the LaSalle girls hockey team. Our lady referees in the zebra stripes out in the corner there will be collecting your cards during the dinner break in turn for a voucher to redeem your gift in your size in the lobby at the end of our evening. Thank you in advance for your generosity. And by the way, I would be remiss in not mentioning that in this ballroom filled with Rhode Island hockey royalty, we have some royalty on an entirely different level on stage now in Miss Maeve Kelly, the young lady closest to me. She is the granddaughter of the defenseman who was Bobby Orr before Bobby Orr, the great Red Kelly, winner of 8 Stanley Cups, recipient of 4 Lady Byng trophies. In a 20-year career, had only 370-plus minutes and penalties. And the only NHLer ever to lead defensemen in scoring for 8 consecutive seasons. Let's have a hand for Maeve and Ava and all of our volunteers for helping us tonight. And of course, her dad, Con, at the Rhode Island hockey table. You know, for all the wins we've enjoyed these past several years, we have also endured some heartbreaking losses. At this time, we ask that you join us for a moment of silent prayer as we read the names and fondly remember those members of our Rhode Island hockey family who have sadly passed since our last enshrinement event. Mike Gaffney, Bernie McCrink, and Don Meller. Thank you for your prayers. Now it is my great pleasure to turn the podium over to the only person to have done play-by-play broadcasts for all of the 5 Boston area major professional sports franchises. A warm Rhode Island welcome, please, for our dear friend, and again, our Hall of Fame Master of Ceremonies, Mr. Dale Arnold. Thanks, Joe.
Now that I'm retired, does anybody remember who the hell I am? Now that I'm retired, I'm at this stage of my life. I can read the script Vin gave me, and where are my readers? Or I can cheat and print it real big and not have to read my readers. I'm going to be egotistical and not use the readers tonight. This is an event that is worth me driving down from Maine for. I now live in Maine. My wife and I, the only retired couple I know who moved north. Well, we did, and we love it there. But it is absolutely worth it to reconnect. I have two daughters who went to Mount St. Charles. One was a hockey player, one was a soccer player, and a lacrosse player, and a dancer, and all of those things. And you get to reconnect when you get together with groups like this. Earlier tonight, I got to get together with Dave Belisle and tell him the story of the time his dad threw me out of the rink. But then I realized, hell, he's threw everybody out of the rink. It wasn't just me, everybody got it. This is such a special group, such a neat organization. When I look at the pictures on the back wall, I know so many of these people. I have been associated with so many of these people through the many years that I've been involved in hockey. Timmy Army and I ran into each other at the Shania Twain concert and got to reminisce about his days as a Maine Mariner. When you see somebody who you haven't seen in a long time, but you come from the world of hockey, it's just like greeting an old family member. And that's what it's like for us here tonight. That's what I hope tonight is for all of you. And I have a feeling you'll enjoy yourself. As I've said every year that I've done this, if at the end of the night you look at your watch and go, oh, that wasn't as late as I thought, I've done my job. So that's what we're going to work on. We're going to start right off the bat and then let you get to your meal. As the chairman mentioned earlier, tonight's ceremonies will be a little bit different, thankfully. Tonight is an intersection of generations as we begin the tradition of honoring our Rhode Island high school boys and girls all-state teams. These talented young men and women are the building blocks of Rhode Island hockey and the shoulders that the next generation will stand on and hopefully be inspired by. Perhaps someday, who knows, we may also call them Hall of Famers as well, although I don't think I'll be emceeing the event when that happens. Each honoree will receive this Crystal Hall of Fame puck coming up on the screen, engraved with their name, school, and year of all-state selection. Now let's get the evening ceremonies started by introducing Rhode Island's 2023 All-State Girls Hockey Team. Please welcome to the stage Rhode Island Girls Hockey Player of the Year, Kira Goff of Smithfield High School. Next from LaSalle Academy, Miss Eliza Barker. Now from North Kingston High School, Michaela Bucci. Next, the goaltender from Pilgrim High School, Mary Centracchio. Please welcome from Smithfield High, Miss Lauren Falls. And finally, from Burrillville High School, Miss Allie Trimble. Ladies and gentlemen, moms and dads, a round of applause, please, for our 2023 Girls All-State First Team. Kira, let me just say, the dress and the high-top chucks, bold fashion statement, I applaud you. Well done. For the boys, some of whom were not able to be with us here tonight, I will read you their names, even though some of them may not be here. The Rhode Island Schoolboy Hockey Player of the Year, Bishop Hendrickson's Griffin Crane, is not with us here tonight. From Pilgrim High School, Ryan Barlow, not with us here tonight. Also from Pilgrim High, goaltender Braxton Bragg. Please welcome from Bishop Hendricken, Will Kavanaugh. I don't have to tell you guys this, you already know. Will represents the third generation of Kavanaughs to earn All-State hockey honors. Also unable to join us tonight, LaSalle Academy senior Mark Frateschi and Cumberland High School senior Jacob Lopes. We wish all of our 2023 All-Staters continued success wherever their hockey journeys may take them. To say that Rhode Island has people in high hockey places is kind of an understatement. Here visiting us with a message from the executive offices of the National Hockey League Players Association, where he just completed his tenure, Mount St. Charles, U.S. Hockey and Rhode Island Hockey Hall of Famer Matthew Schneider.
Good evening, everyone. I'd like to start by congratulating John, Jeff, and Steve, as well as the families of Babe Mousseau and Bill Thayer, and of course Tom Army, this year's recipient of the Chase Award. What a great and special night for all of these honorees. In a sport that's all about teams and teamwork, it's a rare occasion that we get to honor individual greatness. You get the opportunity to celebrate the body of work that each of these individuals were able to achieve through skill, hard work, and sheer determination. And I'm sure each one of them will tell you it would have never been possible without their support teams. Moms and dads, grandparents, brothers and sisters, and certainly the wives and children. This is a night for all of you to celebrate together, so make it a great one. Congratulations once again to all of you, and have a great night.
Thank you, Matthew. As we are proud to boast every year, only Rhode Island can claim that it is the home of the recognized father of ice hockey in the United States, Malcolm Green Chase. Born in Central Falls in 1875, Malcolm was a world-class tennis player at Brown University. He also excelled at ice polo, the ice skating game played here in New England before ice hockey. In the winter of 1894, Malcolm assembled a team of ice polo stars. The All-Americans, as they became known, barnstormed the major Canadian cities with exhibitions of ice polo, while their hosts taught them the skills and rudiments of ice hockey. On the return to the States, new hockey sticks and pucks in hand, the players formed ice hockey clubs at their respective schools: Brown, Yale, Harvard, Columbia, and Cornell. 125 years ago, January 19, 1898, Brown defeated Harvard 6-0. Nothing ever good happens for those poor Harvard kids, does it? In the first intercollegiate hockey league game played in the United States. The rest is Rhode Island and USA hockey history. In his name, each year, the Chase family and the Hall award the Malcolm Green Chase Memorial Trophy for lifetime achievement and contribution by a Rhode Islander to the game of ice hockey. This year, we honor a giant among Rhode Island hockey players, teachers, and organizers. He grew up on the doorsteps and on the ice of the Rhode Island Auditorium before becoming an instrumental figure in the rebirth of Providence College hockey and then founding one of Rhode Island's most storied youth hockey programs. This is his hockey story.
Thomas "Tom" Army. Tom Army was born in 1930, the son of George Army, the legendary Hall of Fame trainer of the Rhode Island Reds. He was raised a slap shot away from the Rhode Island Auditorium, his home away from home, developing his hockey IQ by observing Reds practices and sharpening his exceptional talents on arena ice. Tom attended LaSalle Academy, later transferring to the closer walk of Hope High School. In 1951, he began his freshman year at Providence College, where he collaborated to create a club hockey team. Along with his friend Ray Farrell, the help of his father, and the guidance of Reverend Herman Schneider, they entered the club in the new Rhode Island Amateur Hockey Association. At season's end, PC would tie for the league title, with Tom leading the circuit in scoring. The following season, after a 25-year absence, varsity Friars hockey was reborn, with Tom voted a co-captain. Long past graduation, Tom continued to organize and compete. In 1969, when the Dudley Richards Memorial Rink opened in Tom's hometown, he became a founder of the East Providence Hockey Association, coordinating its various programs and becoming the driving force behind the famous Fram International Hockey Tournaments. Tom coached numerous championship teams and challenged them with better out-of-state competition. He was tough but fair and known to have a soft spot for his players. After the 1972 Summit Series, he took his coaching to a new level, adding the Soviet principles of puck possession and cycling to his coaching handbook. His hockey camps were among the first to blend those elements with the teaching of traditional skills and off-ice conditioning, and the first to include girls with boys at some of his camps. As a result, the EPHA would become the prolific feeder program for the great East Providence high school teams of the 1970s. His sons, Tom Jr., Billy, and Tim, and his grandsons, Travis and Derek, have all followed in Tom's skates as leaders, talented players, and highly successful coaches. Tom would continue his hockey journey with the Providence Bruins. For 28 years, he served as their official scorer and supervisor of off-ice officials, retiring in 2021. He was honored by the P. Bruins for that dedicated service during on-ice ceremonies in 2022.
Ladies and gentlemen, accepting the Chase Trophy on behalf of their father, who could not be with us this evening, are Tom's multi-talented children, Tom Jr., Bill, Tim, and Beth.
On behalf of my mom, Betty, sister Beth, and brothers Bill and Tim, and at our table tonight, Beth's husband, Dave, and Tim's boys, Travis and Derek, and one of Tim's grandkids, Boone, and to my oldest daughter, Hannah, and to the extended family, which includes 13 grandchildren and 6 great-grandchildren. I want to offer a debt of gratitude and sincere thanks to Vin Samini, Mal Goldenberg, and to the Rhode Island Hockey Hall of Fame for presenting the Malcolm Green Chase Award to my father, Tom. I wish he could be here tonight to see this turnout, and more importantly, to have had the opportunity to reconnect with his dear friends in the hockey community, a community that he loves. To begin, I want to just tell you a story that took place recently, which I think epitomizes my dad's sense of spirit and optimism in the face of life's difficult challenges and struggles. Recently, soon after my dad's admission to hospice, my mom was in one of the upstairs bedrooms of the house, attempting to adjust one of the window blinds. You cannot make this stuff up, when a bat hiding in the windowsill bit her on the hand. So the ensuing trauma included a scream, a phone call to Beth and her husband Dave, who had to call an exterminator, and a drive to the local walk-in clinic. Before my mom left for the clinic with Beth, Dave stayed behind with my dad. My father took my mom's hand gently, and looking at her with what only could be described as a sympathetic look, he said, "Betty, I have just one question. Was that bat wearing a cape?" In the months since the Hall of Fame announcement that my dad would receive the Chase Award, I've heard from a number of his former players, and the theme is always the same. My dad changed their lives, and sometimes in profound ways. He was their metaphorical superhero. He wore a cape. My dad's vision for hockey in Rhode Island was to grow the sport so that so many young people, as represented by our All-Staters tonight and others, would be exposed to this wonderful game. Yet, he was called to do more than just impart skating skills or win hockey games. Of course, these are important. Yet these were hollow without focusing on critical life skills: hard work, determination, a positive spirit, teamwork, and meeting people where they are and accepting who they are by extending to them support and encouragement. Last year at a reunion, a Wesleyan teammate of mine told me that my dad always took the time to speak with my teammate after games. The teammate said that he was going through a rough patch, and my dad always listened and offered him encouragement. He'd never forgotten that. Another person who played for my dad in the East Providence program wrote me recently and said, "I was inspired by your father's kindness, courtesy, passion, sensitivity to others, and the ability to stand up and say what he believed in a firm but respectable way. He was a model which I tried to emulate, and he had a profound effect on my life, for which I am grateful." My father was determined to grow hockey in Rhode Island. And I think it could be summed up in the words of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., who said, "Be a bush if you can't be a tree. If you can't be a highway, just be a trail. If you can't be the sun, be a star. For it isn't by size that you win or fail. Be the best of whatever you are." My dad's vision has always been that exposing young people to participation in sports helps them learn the skills necessary to become honorable adults and, in a small but critical way, change makers in a world which needs them now more than ever. The great 19th century abolitionist Frederick Douglass said, "It's easier to build strong children than to repair broken men." This was my dad's creed. Thank you again for this award.
Ladies and gentlemen, as we get ready to enjoy our dinners, some of you started without me, just saying. This is also the looking to the future portion of our evening. While your Hall of Fame has already accomplished a great deal, we have a museum to build to showcase Rhode Island's pioneering and illustrious hockey history. In addition to our silent auction, for which bids will close at the end of dinner, you'll notice a pen and donation form at your place setting. As Vin mentioned in his welcoming remarks, the Hall always reciprocates with a quality gift to thank you for your generosity. This year, we offer the choice of a long-sleeve tee or a plush hoodie, each emblazoned with the Hockey Hall of Fame graphic, and both beautifully crafted by our good friend and former Rhode Island and ECAC standout Billy Payne of Rhode Custom Graphics. As an additional thank you for all donors and winning silent auction bidders, we have this beautiful poster version, you see it there, of this year's Class of 2023 museum montage created for us by the NHL Players Association. This striking montage and those created for our other classes by the NHLPA will one day be displayed in our future museum. Our volunteer lady referees will be collecting your donation cards towards the end of our dinner break in exchange for a voucher to redeem your gifts in the lobby at the end of our evening. Please don't forget to make your final auction bids before our program resumes. Thank you in advance for your generosity. Please enjoy your dinner. We'll be back again real soon. Thanks.